Hey guys, I wanted to come on and share something I've been pondering for a little while now and trying to figure out how to overcome really, and I think I'm making some headway, so I want to share that with y'all. But it's the hardest thing about manifesting, and the hardest thing I've discovered over the years and through experiences with successful manifestations versus unsuccessful manifestations is that the biggest key to manifesting, or the biggest thing to overcome, the foundation, or the cornerstone of manifestation, is knowing what you want. And you would think that that's the easiest thing that you could do as far as steps to manifesting, but in today's age, I feel like there's just so much to choose from. There's so much that we're exposed to. If we can think of it and we can Google it, we can see it. Like, if we imagine that we can do it with our phone, we even have the saying, there's an app for that. Like, anything that we can think of, any idea that we can imagine is kind of available to us. And while that is amazing and something that I love about this time and history on the planet, I feel like having too many options gives us like decision ADD. So part of manifesting is being sure. And one of the ways that we communicate to the universe what it is that we want is by being sure about what we want, which kind of makes us walk through life disregarding all other options. Like we know this is where we're going, so we don't entertain anything that would take us off that path. A good example of decision ADD affecting my ability to manifest is that I'm trying to manifest another house. So I was able to manifest my first house, and I have a video about that. And I think I was able to do that because I had looked at so many homes on the local app for real estate, and this house just like jumped in my heart. Like immediately I was like, this is what I want. And I had a very emotional response to looking at this house, and when I walked into it, it was the same. It was just reinforced. So in my mind, it was like, I'm going to live here. I'm just going to live here. And so I did. I mean, any obstacle that came up, I was like, okay, well, I already know what the end result is going to be, so I know I'm going to be able to overcome this obstacle. So I was just 100% sure. Now I'm like, not only am I comfortable in my current house, but I keep trying to do the same thing. And because there's no house that kind of like just jumped in my heart like that, I keep changing my mind. So I know the techniques to get my manifestation to come to pass, but I can't make a decision. So one week I'll find a house, I may find a video on YouTube of a tour of a home. I'm like, I know if I watch this every day and I imagine myself in this house and I feel the emotions, I feel how it would feel to be in this house, I bring my kids in on it, I know I can have it. But then 2 days later, I see another house that I like. And I'm like, ooh, maybe that would be better. And so I start watching that video every day and start trying to manifest that house. And like I said, it's just like decision ADD. It's like going to a fast food restaurant and stopping at the little speaker and looking at the menu. And the person's like, hi, what would you like to order? And you're like, let me get a cheeseburger. And they're like, okay, that's one cheeseburger. And you're like, wait. I think I want nuggets. And they're like, okay, I got nuggets down. All right. And you're like, wait, no. I think I want a large fry and a Coke. So this person, you're constantly changing your order, and the person has to keep deleting what you said before and putting in the new order. But the problem is you're not making a decision and then getting yourself around to the window to pick up your food. You're just changing your order over and over and over and over again. So that's what happens when we're not sure about what we want. And this can apply to like relationships. You can one moment say, well, I want to be in a relationship with this type of person. But then you meet another type of person, or you see someone else experiencing things a certain way in their relationship, and you change it. You're like, oh, well, I think I kind of want that. You keep changing your mind. And so you don't even know what to ignore as far as communicating to the universe with action what it is that you want. Like, you don't know what you want, so you entertain everything, and the universe is like, what does he really want, or what does she really want? I'm not sure. her actions say from week to week that she wants something different. So how do we overcome decision ADD? I think the biggest thing we should do is understand the laws of the universe and understand ourselves. If we put those two things together, I think it makes it easier to understand what we want. So for example, with the house situation, my problem was that I was just exposing myself to all these possibilities. So what I've done is taken all the best things about the homes that I like what was it about this house that I loved? Taking that characteristic, and I've built a list of characteristics that will remain consistent. I know for sure that I'm going to want those things, and that's not going to change. So instead of looking at house to house to house to house, I go back to that list and I meditate on that list. And that does two things. It helps me to gain clarity, and it helps the universe to have more avenues for bringing me what I want. So if I said I want this particular house at this particular address, and I've been able to manifest that before as well, but the obstacles that have to be overcome in order for me to receive that manifestation could be more. But if I just say I'm open, but I know I want these things, there's more options for me. There's more ways that I can receive that manifestation. So if we can get clear on who we are, like what is really touching us, like the way to know what it is that you really want is by how you feel. If it makes you feel good, then you know it's what you really want. And sometimes we force ourselves into certain situations because we think they'll be better in the long term, or we think that they're what we're supposed to want. But during the journey, we're miserable. We don't feel good. And tomorrow's not promised. The next 30 seconds aren't promised. So the journey should be the focus. So whatever it is in the moment, whatever it is that really keeps you true to yourself, examine what that is. And not just, moment to moment, but what remains consistent. Like what, when you sit and think about it, consistently gives you a feeling of joy, consistently fills you with energy and excitement. Check 1 week and say, this is what's making me feel good. Like this is what's doing it for me. And then come back the next week and check again and see what's the same. And whatever is consistent over time as far as bringing you fulfillment, making you feel happy and energetic, those are the things that you should focus on manifesting. And that way, when you are doing your meditations, when you are visualizing, every time you go back to that desire, it's going to pretty much have the same effect. So again, the hardest thing these days is knowing. And knowing what you want means knowing who you are, means having wisdom and understanding when it comes to how things work, like the law of cause and effect, the law of vibration. Understanding how all those things come together will naturally guide you to knowing what makes you feel good. And when you establish a pattern of the things that consistently make you feel good, then you can establish a list of things to manifest, and you can focus on those things until they come. That is the key to manifestation. Really, it's not magic. It is our subconscious mind, which gathers all information all the time, which can gather information on other people's energy. It picks up things that you don't think you're noticing. And what it does when you make a decision that you want something is it goes to work. It goes to work along with the collective consciousness to bring you what you want. So when you are focused and you say, this is it. This is what, brings my mojo back. This is the way I want to live. This is the way I want to experience things. And you stick with that and you ignore other options. You say, no, I know this is not what I want. It will come. You will run into obstacles, and they won't seem like mountains. They'll seem like, maybe a little hurdle you've got to jump over, because you have just decided that the outcome that you're looking for is what you're going to get. And that is what gives you the drive. That is what allows your subconscious to present you with the ideas to tell you, no, you should turn left instead of right here, or you should really look into that further, or no, you should back away from that, all the while guiding you closer to what it is that you really want. So if you can get your conscious mind, which kind of gives instructions to your subconscious mind, in line with your true deepest desires, and you can present your desires to the universe in such a way that there's no doubt, that your feelings aren't wavering. If you can figure that out by, maybe, for example, I think I said this already, I'm not sure, but with the house thing, making a list of qualities you want in a house, or with a partner, making a list of the experiences that you want to have. Maybe not focusing on a particular person or a particular look, or just how you want to be feeling. Like, what about a relationship would just make you feel like you're in heaven on earth? Focus on that, and your definiteness of purpose will move you in the direction of what you're looking for, and move what you're looking for in your direction as well. So I kind of been rambling a little bit, but it's important. It's important to do the work. It takes a lot of work to know who you really are. It takes a lot of work to dig down into the deepest parts of yourself, especially in today's society. Like I said, we're bombarded with information. We're bombarded with possibilities. We're bombarded with influence from the people that we surround ourselves with, and it takes work to get still and to understand who we are, to contemplate the deeper things of the universe, to understand our surroundings and how we can influence our surroundings or manipulate, our own thinking and our environment to create the things that we want. It requires a lot of upfront effort. You can have short-term success manifesting a little bit of money, because most of our desire for money is pretty consistent. You can get a little bit of success bringing a certain type of person into your life, and then you realize, I didn't really want this, and you kind of let it go. You kind of take your hands off of it. But if you do the work, and if you get down to the bottom of who you are, if you're honest with yourself, if you dig into the darkest parts of yourself, the parts that you might have been ashamed of in the past, or the parts that you don't think other people will accept, if you bring those up to the surface and you accept those things, and you really get down to the bottom of what you want, you're unstoppable. Like, there's nothing that can keep you from creating the things that you want in your life. And so that's the journey that I'm on. I feel myself getting closer to that every day, gaining confidence in who I am, what I want, what my purpose is, or what I want my purpose to be. That's a whole other video. What is your purpose? And the truth is, your purpose can be whatever you want it to be. You decide. It's not mysterious. It's whatever is going to keep you pushing through obstacles. Whatever is going to make you wake up and be glad that you woke up. That's your purpose. And nobody can judge that. I mean, we have these ideas pushed on us by society that our purpose should be to give ourselves to others, or even as women to 100% devote our everything in us to our families. All kinds of ideas that are out there. So a lot of people feel judged when they do get down to, how they really want to move through life. But your purpose is what you decide it is. And once you know that and you're in line with that, life just gets easier. Everything becomes more clear, and anxiety disappears, depression disappears. So know what you want, know who you are, do the work. Thanks for watching.